So prerequisites to GCCP certification. So the first, your attendance has to be 80% minimum. Okay. If it is 79 or 78%, we are not going to say no or something like that. But the 80% is the need, right? So if your attendance is not 80% for any reason, then we will help you, right? You can join sessions, your missed sessions with some other batch is the option number one. Option number two is you go through the recordings at LMS and you submit us the gist of your understanding of that particular session. Because we also understand people are traveling, there are health issues, there are family concerns, so many times it's difficult. But at the same time, we don't want to deviate from this. Because if you start deviating from this, then there is no end, right? Then the people will only do the program for the certification. And that is not the intention of the program. Intention of the program is to develop competent, successful, and contributing coaches. That is possible if you are engaging in the program, if you are attending more than 80% of the sessions. But there are two ways. Miss sessions, you can free of cost, means there is no cost associated with it, means the journey success coach will help you and you can be part of. It is not possible in observed coaching, but it is possible in the regular session. Why it is not possible in observed coaching? Because in observed coaching, the number of assessors is exactly planned as per the batch quantum. If the many more people will added, right? So we can't bring the more assessors at the short notice, right? So not possible for observed coaching sessions, but possible for the regular faculty sessions. You can join the some other for the few, means not for too many sessions. Okay, 2, 3, 4 sessions here and there. If there is any problem, you can join that. If that is also not possible, and if your attendance is less than 80%, then you can go to the LMS, go to the recording and submit a one-page report to Pooja and Niriksha, because they are monitoring the attendance. That is okay. I have missed this particular session, but I have gone through the LMS and this is my report on my understanding on the session. That also will be factored against your attendance in case you are in problem. If you are not in problem, then there is no problem. And you must attend 12 hours of the mentor coaching. Actually, it is 11 hours of synchronous and 1 hour of asynchronous. How is synchronous and asynchronous? Because there is 8 hours of the group mentor coaching, 4 sessions of the group mentor coaching, 2 hours each. And there are 3 individual mentor coaching sessions, 8 plus 3, 11. And there is a 1 hour of homework which you have to submit to the mentor coach. So that put together is the 12 hours of mentor coaching. In mentor coaching, you cannot miss. In the training, few of the sessions can be missed because, yes, there are urgencies and all that. Means for many of us, including me, when I was the student, 100% attendance used to be difficult. I fully understand that. But in mentor coaching, your attendance has to be 100%. So this is on attendance. Any question on attendance, and you have to attend minimum 5 observed coaching sessions. How many observed coaching sessions are there in our program? Is any sincere student here who can respond to me?
6, no?
6. Yes. I would have appreciated more confidence, but not bad. At least you answered. So 6.
Sir, I read it thoroughly in the beginning. पिछले 1 महीने से मैंने नहीं पढ़ा है, तो I'm relying on my memory.
So out of that 6, at least you have to attend 5. Right? So this is the as far as your attendance is concerned. Any question on attendance? And this applies to whether you are ACC or PCC. Right? Because this is, I'm talking about the percentages. Okay. In case of observed coaching sessions, at ACC level, there are 3, right? In 3 months, there are 3 observed coaching sessions. Means you have to attend minimum 2. At ACC level, minimum 2. But of course, if you attend 3, it is to your benefit only. But minimum 2 observed coaching sessions you have to attend at ACC level, and minimum 5 sessions you have to attend at a PCC level. Any question on attendance, please?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, it's also different for people who have taken with practicum and without practicum, right? The mentor coaching is not applicable for an observed coaching is also not applicable for.
Because again, I'm forgetting. It is good that you asked me. See, the program is designed with the practicum. So yeah, so I agree with you. So whatever I am saying is for the people who have taken the practicum. Yes. Yes, Naina.
Yes, sir. So I just had a quick question. After ACC, while moving to PCC, if I want to switch the batch to the morning one, that's possible, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
If you to PCC switch, it is possible. Then we will make appropriate changes in the number of observers and all that, because we have a time. So what we do, we give minimum 1 week gap between ACC to PCC switch. So if you see the calendar, so let us see the calendar. Batch 1. Right. So now your ACC journey is stopping on the 2nd of May. Right. And the PCC journey is starting on 9th of May. There is exactly the gap of 7 days. So within that 7 days, that appropriate planning will be made. Right. So that you can do. You can switch from the evening to morning batch and all that are possible. But it is better that in advance you talk to Pooja, because it requires a good amount of logistics.
Pooja, yes.
I will tell you the problem. Now see, these are all international faculties for the observed coaching session. Right? Saba, Elena, Angela, Vasa. And these people work with annual calendars. Right? So for example, if the quantum will increase here for that particular batch for which you want to shape, then I have to add one more person. Right? Or if the quantum will become less, I have to cancel the person. Now both the challenges, because they don't work on a weekly calendar, they work on an annual calendar, right? So it is better to plan in advance is my only point. But yes, answer is it is possible.
As soon as possible, right? Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Do it. And if you want to switch from evening to morning and all that between ACC to PCC, that is possible.
Okay. Thank you.
With advanced information. Yes. Any question on attendance before we move ahead?
So I had a similar question. So I'm upgrading to PCC now, but I'm okay with the evening batch. I'll continue with this.
No. If you don't say anything, of course you are going to continue with it. If there is any special requirement of change, it's a special requirement. Otherwise, if you don't say anything to us, right, it is common sense that you are going to continue with this batch only. But if you specifically tell us, no, I am continuing, but I want to change this from the evening to the morning batch, then information is needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. So no question on attendance. So I will move ahead. So at a PCC level, there is a minimum 20 hours of buddy coaching. Why 20 hours of buddy coaching? Because there are minimum 2 people involved in buddy coaching. Maximum 3 people. That there can be observer, there may not be observer, because it is not essential that for every buddy coaching session there must be observer, because you are only a group of 3. Sometimes people will not be available on that. But for a coaching session to happen, minimum 2 people are required, coach and coachee. So if the minimum 2 people do 10 sessions within them, and each session is of 1 hour, right? So 10 into 2 is the 20 hours of the buddy coaching practice, out of which you are coach for 10 hours for the PCC, entire PCC journey. For ACC, it is 50%. So you have to invest minimum 10 hours of your time in a buddy coaching process, out of which you must be a coach for at least 5 hours. And those particular buddy coaching logs must be submitted in MML coaching log format, not ICF coaching log format, because MML coaching log format is a learning oriented, reflective oriented. ICF coaching log is only for the data of number of hours. I'm not interested in number of hours. Right? I am interested in, are you learning? Are you implementing this particular knowledge into your practice? So the buddy coaching law of MML has a very defined, of course, I'm not saying that every information you must fill. For example, if the session goal is confidential, mention confidential, no problem. I'm not saying that entire the format must be filled. You can even modify the format, no problem. But the idea is, do not deviate from the reflection part of the buddy coaching law. Are you reflecting? Are you asking feedback from the coachee? Are you thinking that, okay, what could have been done better? At the end of the call, are you reflecting that is okay, these are the CCs where I have to work more? Like that reflection is the idea. The format is not the idea. The format is mere tool and instrument. If you are understanding the idea and if your idea is being seen into the buddy coaching log, then it is enough. So this is on a buddy coaching. Any question on buddy coaching? Here? And of course, the calendar already has how many number. Of course, you can give more. This is the minimum. If you are doing more practice and if you want to submit more logs, it is welcome. But this is the minimum what you have to do at a PCC level 6 months program. Then in each module, there is one test online. Again, this online test is not something great, right? But yes, at least we are understanding that is okay. You are reflecting and you are thinking and you have completed the module. And if you are, say, failing in the test, then it's a alert for us. During the reflection session, you can discuss with me that is okay, this is a problem and all that. So we can take the countermeasure at a right point in time. This is the idea behind this particular test, right? So I made to work on this particular test, and in future I will make this particular test more case study oriented and much more evolved and intense. Right now they are very simple. They have been designed by my faculty coaches. So at an appropriate point in time, I will develop them and I will take them to the higher level, because ultimately I want to prepare you for the ICF CK. If I have to prepare for you, I can even start from this particular program. Not necessarily it has to be in the program, because you have long time to give that particular test, right? And there is a YML CMC wherein the people are going to train you on the CKs and all that. So there is an ecosystem available, but I can also integrate that into the program, which I have not yet done. Right now, I'm only checking your module-wise understanding at a very foundational level. I can take those particular tests at a higher level by integrating some case studies, which I will do it at an appropriate point in time. So you have to pass this particular test, and no one can fail it, because if you fail it, you have to retake the test. So that provision is there. So the idea is to just see that is there a considerable gap, and if you find that there is a considerable gap and I'm filling in all the answers of the test, then during the reflection session, you have to talk and then we will support you is the real idea. This particular program, the ICF has given authority to Master My Life to do your final exam. What is the final exam? Final exam is your CCR3, not CCR1, not CCR2, CCR3, which you will submit during your mentor coaching. That CCR you must pass. So earlier ICF used to do it. But for the level 2 institutes like Master My Life, so there are 2,666 coaching education providers in the world, 2,666, out of which 407 are level 2. Out of the 407, only 10 are operating at a global level, and MML is one of them. So all these people who are at a level 2, ICF has given them or delegated them the authority of the final performance evaluation. So the final performance evaluation right now is being done only by Meghna. So Meghna is our director program. She is MCC coach and she is ICF PCC marker assessor. How many ICF PCC marker assessors? We are having more than 15. We already have more than 15 qualified, certified assessors. But final performance evaluation, as of now, we are only giving it to the Meghna to just have that particular continuity and the standardization, because there should not be the, say, the difference in the perceptions between the assessor. So purposely, since this is a very crucial thing, we are giving it to the Meghna, right? So this you must pass. And if you do all this, if your attendance is T, you have attended minimum 5 OCS sessions, if you have completed your minimum 20 hours of buddy coaching, if you have, of course, passed the 6th test at the end of M6, and if during the mentor coaching, whatever the CCR3 you will submit, if it passes, right? Then you are eligible to receive the GCCP certificate, provided you are following the code of ethics. Because you should not do anything which is against the ICF code of ethics. So in the first session or in the second session of your module 2, when you learn the CC1, which is demonstrates ethical practice, right? You must have done the homework and went to the ICF website and gone through the ICF code of ethics. So you please be aware that you have to follow this particular ICF code of ethics, right? Because it is not only about your talent and skills, but it is also about how ethical you are, how professional you are, right? And this is also the criteria of the certification. So if you meet all this, of course, everyone is meeting it. I'm not saying there is any problem here, but in 5% of the cases, there are problems. The people are not meeting the attendance. They are failing into the final performance evaluation. So we are supporting them. Right. So this slide is not to make you jittery or put any pressure on you. This slide is to explain you that these are the certification criteria. You will not get the certificate without this. There will not be any exception, but we will support you. If you are feeling somewhere, we will support you and all that. So that support mechanism is available, but you have to tick all these to get the GCCP certification, because GCCP certification is a aspirational certification. You are becoming a global professional coach. It is not a very small title. It's a big title we are talking about. I don't know whether you are aware of that particular depth right now. It's a very big title. You will become the 0.0001% of the global population who are international coaches, right? So it's a very coveted certificate. So you should own the certificate. Just because you are paying fees, right? That does not mean I will give certificate. And see, I'm telling you, I'm absolutely fearless. I don't fear about anything. There was one student in the University of Mumbai, and her parents were high profile. And there was a problem, and I put my foot down. They went up to the VC level. Vice Chancellor, I'm nothing. Right, as a collaborator, I'm not saying I'm nothing, right? But as a collaborator, Mumbai University Vice Chancellor is the highest position, and I'm a small collaborator with the Mumbai. But no, they have to do whatever they have to do. What will happen? They will take down my collaboration. I'm not working for that recognition that I am associated with the Mumbai University. If fairly I am associated, otherwise no. So we don't have any fear, right? Because there were some people who earlier hinted me, okay, they will complain to the ICF. Okay, go and complain. Right. So, but we will follow the process. Why? Because I'm giving you my brand. You are Master My Life Produce Coach. And I am proud of that particular thing, right? So I will not name it. So you have to meet this particular criteria. Whatever you do, nothing will work. Only thing will work is you have to take this. That is only thing nothing will work, right? So this is on the certification. Any question on certification?
Sir?
Yeah.
My understanding is that those who are continuing doing the whole PCC route, we will receive our certificate, assuming that we have earned the certificate, sometime in August, if I understand correctly.
Okay, so we'll go to the calendar because I don't remember the date. So we'll go to the calendar.
So either it is July or August, but my question is basically.
I will explain you. So we will go to the mentor coaching. So the mentor coaching you will be completing in the 3rd of August, for example, right? And you will be submitting your coaching call recording, the 3rd coaching call recording, before your 3rd IMC. See, this is only the group mentor coaching. The program includes the 12 hours of the mentor coaching. I told you, right? Out of which 8 hours is a group mentor coaching. 4 hours is individual mentor coaching. Out of the 4 hours, 1 hour is asynchronous homework. So exclude that. So you have to complete the 3 individual mentor coaching sessions. during the 3 individual mentor coaching sessions, before the 3rd IMC, you have to submit your CCR 3. For example, you complete your program in 3rd of August. By the end of August, you will have your IMC 1, for example. In the month of September, you will have IMC 2. And in the month of September, you will submit your CCR 3. So assessor also will take at least 15 days time to assess it. So practically in the month of October, you will have your IMC 3, right? By that time, your assessment will come and you will be practically, right, getting the certificate in the month of October, not in the month of August.
Okay. So then, sir, all the more reason for my question. I mean, what would we tell or what would we display to the world, to our clients, say on LinkedIn or, whatever? What would we say?
Yeah, so you have to write that is you are undergoing the Global Coach Certification ICF Level 2 Coaching Education Program with the Mastermind Life. And if you want, say, any proof, you can get a very systematic mail from the Puja on the letterhead of Mastermind Life that you are undergoing this particular program or something. If you want, right? So that Puja will support you, but the formal certificate you should tentatively get in the month of October. In some cases, November. In some cases, December, right? Because ultimately you have to complete that particular entire process. But the October is a realistic target. Before that, if you are of any need, why? Because ultimately you can update your LinkedIn profile without the certificate. You have to mention that you are undergoing the Global Coach Certification Program, which is the ICF accredited Level 2 Coaching Education Program. All that you can write. You can put the Mastermind Life name and everything. You can tag Mastermind people in your posts, right? Because you are officially our students, so there is no problem, right? We can support you. So all that is possible. But the formal certificate is, this is the process.
Would it be okay then, for us to then say perhaps from the month of May or beginning of M4 onwards to say that we've completed the training for ACs for level 1?
Yeah, so definitely you can mention in your profile that you have already completed the ACSTH ACC level training, not ACC, because ACC is a credential which you get after you submitting your application to the ICF, wherein you upload the certificate, you click on the 100 hours of the coaching practice, you pass the credential in exam, and then you. So it is ACC level. There's a difference between ACC and ACC level. So you say you have completed ACC level coaching education with Mastermind Life EQ education. Absolutely all right.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely all right.
Thank you so much, sir, for that clarification.
Yeah. Any question on certification?
Sir, I want to ask, since my PCC education will end by July, so and I don't have mentor coaching, I don't have observed coaching, right? I'm not taken with practicum. So then do I need to also do something else? Because I'll submit my buddy coaching that I am doing. With time, I've submitted 2 and 3 more. So certificate will automatically come to me, or should I have?
So there is a one certificate declaration form. So the Puja will hand over a certificate declaration form to you. In that you have to click, have you paid the fees? What is the program you are having that is without practicum, ACC and all that. So you will self-declare. That information will come to the MML operations, ops@mastermindlifeedu.com. They will verify the information and they will give you the certificate of the coaching education. So this certificate will not be eligible to apply to the ICF for the credential, but this certificate is all right for you to tell people that is you are officially a coach. Yeah,
I will take a practicum after some time, sir. I want to first, undergo education. Yes.
absolutely. All right. But to apply to the ICF at ACC and PCC level, what are the requirements, which I will explain at the end of the presentation. Okay. Yeah. But yes, it is possible. So no question on the certification. Good. So mentor coaching. The program has total 12 hours of mentor coaching, out of which 11 hours is synchronous and 1 hour is asynchronous homework. So 8 hours of mentor coaching includes 4 hours of group mentor coaching and 3 hours of individual mentor coaching. And this is the heart of the program. No PCC level, ACTP level 2 program can be made without mentor coaching. So the mentor coaching is a part and parcel of the program. It is the core of the program, because here you get opportunity to discuss with the mentor coach one-on-one. Right. So this is a very important aspect of your development. So it is the 12 hours of mentor coaching. And what is the ICF rule? ICF says that you must complete the entire mentor coaching in minimum 3 months time, not maximum. You can take even 6 months, no problem. But you can't complete the mentor coaching in say 2 months time. You must spend the 3 months time in the mentor coaching. Do you know why? Because the process, the learning process is like that. It is not the paracetamol medicine that there is a fever and you take paracetamol. But why that fever has come? What is wrong in your body? Right. So in a mentor coaching, there is a transformation happening. Right. So it takes time. You can't complete the mentor coaching in lesser period of time. So ICF has thought that is okay, 3 months is a sufficient time for that particular involvement. And that is the reason this is the rule. So at the end of the program, you will complete your mentor coaching. So C means I will tell you the design, because you should understand this well. So when we are starting mentor coaching, Vasudha, in our program?
Sir, June, July.
25th of July.
Yeah.
So the mentor coaching should get completed in minimum 3 months time, right? So July means August, September, October. So you should complete your mentor coaching by minimum 24th of October, not maximum, minimum. So these 3 individual mentor coaching session. So your last IMC practically should not be before 24th of October. So consider that you do it on say 25th of October. So by October end, you can get the certification. This is the reason why I said you practically it is October. It can't be before the October. It can be November. It can be December, but it can't be before the October, because you must spend a minimum 3 months period in the mentor coaching, and your 3 months period completes on the 24th of October. There are many institutes who are not following it in toto, and it is impossible for the ICF also to monitor it. But we follow it because there is nothing wrong in it, because we consider life and the coaching journey as a marathon and not a 100-meter race. Nothing is going to happen because of the 1, 2, 3 months. But we really want you to really learn properly, implement it properly, and take maximum out of the mentor coaching. Because if you do hurriedly mentor coaching, then you can't take maximum, because unless you are practicing, unless you face challenges and discuss those challenges with the mentor coach, you can't extract maximum from the mentor coaching. So it is better that you spend minimum 3 months time. You can spend even 4, 5, 6 months time, but the minimum 3 months time you should spend. So the certification is practically can happen by end of October for all of you. But don't worry on the certification. Okay, you want letter from MML, you want to update your profile and all that. Nothing has happened. Please do not be of the impression that people come to the coach because of the photo of the certificate. No one does it. People come to the coach because of the credibility, because of the trust, because how you are positioning yourself, your personal branding. So because of that, everything people come to you. Certificate is a mere paper. So just because you have the early certificate or the late certificate is not going to make any impact on your career as a coach or your early income or the late income, right? You can start your coaching practice even from now, right? If you are now, say, clear on the coaching, you can start taking assignment. There is nothing wrong in it because you have already now completed the L2, right? So the L2, you already know the coaching process. You already know the core competencies. So you can start your coaching practice. Nobody is stopping you, right? Maybe you start with, you will charge less, no problem. Maybe pro bono, maybe free, no problem. But start experiencing the coaching, right? Now you are ready to start coaching at the end of the M2. So this is the mentor coaching. Syllabus is already there into the coach study guide. So there are 4 sessions. Each session has a very specific outcome. So the mentors will give their personal life experience to you, right? So what they do into their coaching, what kind of challenges they face, how they have overcome the challenges. So they are very practical tips. There is no theory here. It's a very practical. So the mentor coaching is all about experiential learning. So the senior people share their lessons with you. And then there is a IMC. So every IMC has a prerequisite. Individual mentor coaching 1, what you have to do before that. So there is a separate video in the PCD. Go and click on that particular video. So there is my video explaining this particular section. What is this section? Section is called a mentor coaching. So what you need to do to complete your IMC 1, what you need to do to complete your IMC 2, and what you need to do to complete your IMC 3. So you must fulfill those criteria to complete the IMC 1, IMC 2, IMC 3. And once you complete the IMC 3, then officially you have completed the program pending your final performance evaluation result, right? So once you get that particular assessor's result, then the certificate can be issued to you. When the certificate will be issued to you? When you will fill the certification declaration form. All forms are part of the PCD. Whatever I am talking, all the critical forms, information is already part of the PCD. So in the PCD, you can click and see, okay, what questions are there into the certificate declaration form, right? You have to fill that form, operations will verify, and operations will give the certificate. In a certificate declaration form, you have to also mention what specialization need to be printed on your certificate. So all that, right? So you can go for a very specific specialization as well, right? So it is allowed because we are already spending the entire module 5 on your specialization. So because we are helping you into the specialization, you are free to ask for any specialization. You can coin your own specialization. Everything is allowed. Because we are spending ample amount of time into your specialization. So we and ICF believe that because of this kind of education, you are certain about your specialization. And because of that, we are believing in what you are saying and we will print that particular thing into your certificate, right? So this is the mentor coaching. Any question on mentor coaching? No question on mentor coaching? So at the end of M5, you have to fill a mentor coach preference form. You will be given 5 options and you have to choose your preference number 1 and preference number 2. That mentor coach preference form is also part of the PCD, right? So you search for that, you will get that. And whatever is your preference number 1 and 2, you will be allotted a mentor coach, either your preference 1 or preference 2. Right. So that will be your mentor coach for what? Not for the GMC, for the IMC, for the individual mentor coaching, that person will be your individual mentor coach. That form you have to fill at the end of M5. If you study the PCD, you will get all the answers. PCD has all the steps. Every month, what you need to do, which form, everything is already clear. Over and above that, you have a coach mentor who is the alumni of the GCCP. That person can guide you. Over and above that, you have a journey success coach, which is Pooja. So any question you can ask her as well, right? And plus, I am giving you this particular clarity. Now the coaching call recordings. How many coaching call recordings? Program has 3 coaching call recordings. Coaching call recording number 1 at M3. So the ACC students will submit how many coaching call recording? Only 1. PCC students 3. Why? Because the second coaching call recording is at the end of M5. The third coaching call recording is the final performance evaluation. Because for the ACC student, the final performance evaluation is not the responsibility of the MML. They will submit their coaching call recording to the ICF because they get the level 1 ACSTS certificate. They don't get the level 2 ACDP certificate. So under the level 1, they have to submit the coaching call recording. This is the ICF rule, right? So ICF believes that if you have completed the entire ACTP level 2 program, then they are certain that you have the competencies and they don't want to check. They are delegating that particular responsibility to the institute. But in case of level 1, they are not delegating that responsibility to the institute. They are saying, okay, if you are a ACC student, you have completed the partial education, no problem. You submit the coaching call recording to us. We will verify it at the ICF and then only we will give you the credential. So MML don't have to review your coaching call recording at the SCC level. But at the PCC level, we are going to review your third coaching call recording. So there are 3 coaching call recordings at a PCC level in this program. There is only 1 coaching call recording at the ACC level in this program. But the ACC level with mentor coaching, right? You can submit your second coaching call recording, right? But it will not be termed as a final performance evaluation. Why? Because anyway, you have to submit your 1 coaching call recording to the ICF anyway. Right. But in case of PCC, right, you don't have to submit your coaching call recording to the ICF. Any question on the coaching call recording? So no. Okay. So each coaching call recording has a prerequisite and has a system. So that system is, again, in the PCD, there is a separate video only on the coaching call recording. Go to the PCD, click on that particular video. It's a 3, 4, 5 minute video and it will explain you that is okay, what you have to do, what care and the specs of the each CCR is. So CCR 1, CCR 2, CCR 3. Now the coaching practice. So in this particular program, once you join the program, from that day onwards, you can log in your hours. ICF allows, that is if you, for example, officially, you have joined this particular program in the month of February. So from the month of February onwards, your coaching call logs will be considered. January coaching log will not be considered because at that time you were not into the coaching education program. But if you are already a coach, then it's a separate matter. Then they will consider when you first join the coaching education program, from that day onwards, your coaching logs will be allowed. So any coaching practice sessions you are doing during the coaching program are allowed. Buddy coaching practice, of course, is allowed. Observed coaching session practice is allowed. And of course, YML CMC, the ICF is recognizing all the practice done in YML CMC under paid coaching. Buddy coaching is pro bono. Your buddy is not paying you. In the coaching practice session within the program, within your cohort, of course, it is not paid. Observed coaching session, of course, it is not paid. So, for example, you want to become a PCC coach. 100 hours, 500 hours, out of which 450 are paid and only 50 are allowed pro bono. So all these coaching practice, buddy coaching, observed coaching session can be up to 50 hours. It can't be 51 hours. Up to 50 hours of the free is all right. 450 hours need to be paid. And paid 450 hours is not a joke. It is difficult. So without YML CMC, not possible if you are not a professional coach. Now there are some coaches, there are some agile coaches in our program. Okay, they are already doing coaching in their organization. They don't require to be part of the YML CMC. I tell them, why are you taking part? Because you already have the coaching opportunities within your company. Okay, go ahead and do it because you are already a coach within your company. That is a separate matter. But if you do not have that particular, say, privilege, if you are not a coach, then without YML CMC, it is humanly not possible to complete 450 hours in, say, 1.5 years, 2 years time, right? You will take many, many years. So YML CMC is a fantastic avenue for you to complete your paid coaching practice hours as early as possible. There you will not coach your buddies. You will coach the coaches who are not from your batch and who are from the different countries, of course, including India. 80% will be still Indians, but there will be 20% into the YML CMC who are from other countries also. So you have a very diverse, so-called clientele there, wherein you can coach multiple people and you can log in those particular hours under paid coaching. Any questions on the coaching practice? Yes, Rebecca.
So I just wanted to know, so the paid hours, is there a particular amount for that?
No. So yes, paid hours can be barter, right?
Okay.
Paid hours can be a single rupee or a single dollar. So there is no regulation for the paid hours. Anything which is not free is called as paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was already thinking of starting the practice maybe by the end of next month. So I want to keep the amount very minimal.
Yes.
For now. So that's why I wanted to know that if that would be okay.
Yes, that will be okay. Any practice in YML CMC is allowed. Even you take a single rupee from the coachee, it will be considered as paid coaching. ICF is not interested even in knowing how much you are charging. In their coaching log, there is no mention of the commercials. You have to declare it is a paid coaching.
Okay, sir. And how would we prove it? Like, do we have to prove it?
So you need to have a backup of some kind of written communication with you, either email correspondence or a agreement, that is coaching contract. Either you sign a coaching contract with the person or you have any email written correspondence about the payment is what you are. So is ICF going to check? Right? ICF never checks it, but ICF audits it. Now in the audit, so means people from the corporate are aware, right? If your case comes, then only it will be checked. If your case will not come, the case will not be checked. So out of say 100 applications, ICF will only audit one application. In that application, ICF will send you email and give you 30 days notice. That is within 30 days, you please submit the proofs of your 500 hours of say coaching logs and all that. So means if you are not having a very structured information, you still got the 30 days time to structure it and then submit it to the ICF. Only in audit case, in the normal case, ICF asks you in the application, have you completed the 500 hours of paid coaching? Yes. Is 450 hours of it is paid? You have to click yes. Have you coached minimum 25 clients? Means I can't say this 500 hours of coaching practice is with the 3 people. Not allowed. Minimum 25 clients. You have to again say yes. Now ICF believes you subject to the possibility of the audit.
Yes. Okay. Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Yes, Vani.
Yes, sir. You did mention about being in an organization where they play the role of. So do we get some letter or how will that work?
No. So in that particular organization, see ICB is not interested in the letter from the organization. Of course, you can do that if you want it, but the ICB is interested in the who you have coach and coachee. So if the coachee within that particular organization is your coachee, you can mention his name and his personal email ID. And tomorrow, if the ICB will audit, ICB is going to send only email to the coachee, not to the organization. That is okay. Has Vani coach you? Answer is yes, finish.
So as an agile coach, we just need to just represent the individual members whom we have coached within the organization.
That's it. ICF means sometimes even the organization name can be confidential. Sometimes coach's name also can be confidential. You can mention it, but you can't say my 100% of the coaches' names are confidential. Then there is something fishy, right? But in some cases, it is confidential. You can mention it is a confidential, but in majority of the cases, it should not be confidential. ICF is not interested in which organization. ICF is only interested in as a coach. Have you coached the coachee? And is it a paid or a so for example, if organization is paying you as a agile coach, then it is a paid coaching. Coach is not paying you, but organization is paying you salary as a agile coach. Na? So for you, whatever coaching you are doing in the organization is paid coaching.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Masuda?
Sir, can we say we've issued invoices? Those invoices can also be used to show as proof, right? That
Yeah, but see, actually this paid thing and this proofs is not a very serious matter. What is important is that have you coached 500 hours? Is it just a pro bono freebie coaching, or it was a sincere coaching wherein the stakes were involved, right?
Yeah.
So whether you keep the proof in some kind of email or messages or something like that, or of course, if you are having coaching contract, it is a better professional practice. Practically, you should have the coaching contract, coaching agreement with each coachee. So how you keep the proof is what you have to see. But at a larger scale, ICB is not interested in all these things, right? Who has a time to check your invoices? Tell me, is it possible? So many people are applying to the ICF. How can they do it? They can't do it. You have to tell that, yes, it was a paid coaching. That's it. And they are not going to check. Even in the audit, they are not going to check the 500 hours. Out of those 500 hours, they will ask some few samples. That's it. That is what they can check. They even can't check 500 hours. MML is not in the position to check your body coaching logs with such a small quantum. Where is the ICF who is going to check 500 hours of coaching practice of so many people? Yeah. Yes, Jen?
Yes, sir, I just wanted to reconfirm that with the YMCL paid coaching, under that, we are you said it's like a barter. So we are also, there are like everyone, whether locally, like domestic or international, we're all coaches under training, right? So
Yes.
we are kind of, so then I can probably the contract that I've signed, the person signed up, that can go up to like 4 sessions or 5 sessions,
No,
and that is counted. Or is it like just one single session?
10 sessions, 10 sessions.
10 sessions. Okay.
Every coaching will have 10 sessions. Why? Otherwise, then you have to deal with more than 50 people, right? 500 hours. 500 divided by 10 is 50. ICF wants, that is, you should do minimum 25. So with the 10 hours per coachee, you are already at 50, which is a big quantum, right? So doing one session or the 2 sessions, then you have to deal with 100, 200 people, and then it will be operationally a chaos. So with every coachee, you will necessarily have a 10 hours of the coaching relationship as a coach. Within that 10 hours of relationship, maybe you can cover multiple goals, no problem. But every relationship is for 10 hours.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Coaching logs. This is the format of the MML coaching log. Again, the crux. It is not about the columns and the rows. It is the crux. Is it reflective? Have you achieved the results? Right? What lesson you have learned? What is the feedback from the coachee? What is your CC gap analysis? Is what this form is asking you to reflect on and write on. Sometimes if you think, no, this particular, the coaching assignment or the agreement is confidential and I don't want to share the result. All right. But you can't say in 100% of the time, every percent is confidential. Then there is something wrong. In some specific cases, if you think that, no, this information, I don't want to give it to the MML. Yes, MML is not interested in getting any private information. Actually, right now, MML is not even checking these particular forms, but I'm going to start it. Right, not for your batch, but maybe from the 2024 onward, because there is again there is a manpower required to do all this. So we believe you. We just want that whatever you are learning, you are implementing into the body coaching and you are reflecting it. So that is our confirmation that yes, there is a practical skill development happening during the program. So the body coaching is designed for application of the theories and the concept into practice. So this particular format is for that, because the ICF format is only for the numbers. What is the client, whether it was the individual or group coaching, right? What was the start and end date? So it is assignment wise. MML body coaching is the session wise. ICF is assignment wise. For example, client name Hemant, contact information Hemant, Gmail ID. No phone number is required. Individual or group, individual. Number in group, not applicable because it is one, right? Start date, 1st January, end date, 31st July. Paid hours, 10. Pro bono hours, 0. Simple. Now paid hours, how much Hemant paid, ICF is not interested in knowing. Whether it was a paid or pro bono hours, and the total of the paid hours, the grand total in your sheet has to be more than 450 hours. That is what ICF wants. So this record you are keeping is even ICF is not asking this record during the application. They just want to teach. But this record you are keeping internally in case ICF will audit you. ICF is not even asking you this particular record to be formally submitted at the time of application. But ICF wants you to have this particular record in this particular minimum format. So this is the format what ICF asks you to fill for your 500 hours, out of which minimum needs to be 450 hours of the paid. Any question on the logs? Coaching log is a coaching record. So the log is a synonymous word to the record. A written record is called as log. No question? ICF credentialing, the best is to have the ICF website. So the number one, you have to complete the GCCP education, including mentor coaching, because any person who has not done the mentor coaching cannot think of the credential. Credentialing is only for the people who have completed observed coaching sessions and mentor coaching. Without observed coaching sessions and the mentor coaching, no possible to get any credential, whether it is SCC or PCC. And then you get the GCCP certificate. Then you complete your 500 hours of practice. Of course, if you are non-coach, for example, Vani, if the Vani is coach, it is not necessary for Vani to be the member of the YML SIM. So of course, she can become a member for the networking purpose and the knowledge purpose and other purpose, but not necessarily for the practice purpose, because she has her organization, fortunately, right? But for the people who are not agile coaches, without YML CMC, I am telling you, not possible. And then once you have this particular practice, right, and you have your internal records, you will directly apply to the ICF. How to apply and all that, all this particular knowledge, wisdom and training you will get in the YML CMC. And again, it is nothing, but I'm telling you that there are people who have already done it, so they will guide you, right? And once you upload the certificate of GCCP. Once you click that you have completed 500 hours of coaching practice out for with minimum 25 people, out of which 450 are paid, then ICF will accept that particular application, and you have to of course pay the fees, which is I think $400 or whatever is that. $350, $400, $450 is the fee which you have to pay, that particular fee, and then in few days time you will get a credentialing exam link, and you will get 90 days to take the exam. No hurry. So within 90 days, within 3 months, whenever you think that you want to take the exam, you will block that particular time. So that particular link will have that particular provision to communicate to the ICF. You will block that. So this exam is a proctored exam. Proctored exam means you can't have anything on your table and you have to only look at the screen, not here and there, right? It's a proctored exam, right? So again, that particular training also you will get into the YML CMC. The people who have passed the CK will basically impart that particular knowledge in a knowledge session in the YML CMC. And once you give the exam, in less than 7 days, you will get, actually you get the instant result, but I'm just being safe. So in less than 1 week, you will get this particular result that you have passed the credentialing exam. And in less than 4 weeks, if you have completed ICF level 2, that is our GCCP complete program with the mentor coaching, then in less than 4 weeks, you will get the PCC credential. But if you are applying through level 1, which is a SCC level, and you are doing this process with the SCSTS certification, with the 100 hours of coaching practice, and by submitting one coaching call recording to the ICF and going for the exam, then ICF will wait for your coaching call recording result, which will take 2 to 3 months. Then only they will pass you, because for the passing, the credential exam and the coaching call recording. In case of PCC, your coaching call recording is already approved by the MML. That is the reason you got the certificate. But in case of SCC, right, without approval, you have got the certificate. So you have to additionally submit that particular coaching call recording to the ICF, pass the credentialing exam, and then you take 16 weeks time to get the credential. So the credentialing process for the level 1 is 16 weeks. For the level 2, it is 4 weeks. For example, you are a bridge student. For example, Vani, I think, is a bridge student, right? You are already SCC and you are completing your bridge program. So you will get the level 2 certification from MML. MML will mention your earlier certification information and MML certification information, and you get converted from the level 1 to level 2, so that when you will apply to the ICF, you will upload only a MML certificate to the ICF. You don't have to upload any coaching call recording, because your application will be like any level 2 certificate holder. So this is the, and in ICF website, you go for the credentialing tab, you will get all the detailed information there.